BBC Radio Northampton.
So we all know what it's like when you get home. You put the key in the door, in the lock, you open it up, and you're welcomed by a cold house. Well, if you're elderly, we all know that the problems that it can cause is more than just a cold nose. Well, an organisation from Daventry have developed a way that they think is going to help, and they're looking for local businesses to sponsor it now. Simon Parslow is from Target Holdings, and he joins me in the studio now. Good afternoon, how are you?
Good afternoon, Rob. Yeah, absolutely fine. It's a bit cold outside.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was one of the first things I noticed last night when I got in was how cold it was. What is it that you're doing then?
We've developed a product, it's called TOM. It's actually an acronym for Temperature Optical Monitor, but we've affectionately called it TOM for short. And basically it's a device which warns the most vulnerable people that their living environment could be becoming dangerously cold. One of the things that we found out with the most vulnerable is that they have the least ability to detect temperature change, and the environment they're living in could cause them some health issues long term. The statistics are absolutely staggering. 31,000 people last year died of cold-related illnesses.
So it's basically a way to try and help people. That's the way to put it.
Absolutely. It's a device that gives you indication that there's something wrong. We're all aware of temperature. As I mentioned when we started, it's getting cold outside. This morning there was frost on the car. And for most active, able-bodied individuals, that's fine. They can cope with temperature change. But the most vulnerable people in society are the least likely of detecting when temperature change is occurring. And startlingly, below 18 degrees, it starts to become dangerous. As a living environment, the optimum temperature is 21 degrees. When you start dropping below 18 degrees, you start accentuating the problems that could be health-related issues.
So why is it that you're doing this then? What made you want to get involved and do something like this?
Actually, the inspiration for the product came from one of my colleagues, a gentleman called Stephen Parker. His nan unfortunately died about 8 years ago of hypothermia. And he'd always had it in his mind that there was something that we could do as a development company to try and combat this issue. We already market a product aimed at babies, which is designed to reduce the effects of cot death, to try and eliminate the other end of the scale, i.e. overheating babies. And Steve focused his efforts on designing a product that tackled the other end of the scale, which is the vulnerable adults, to give them a warning signal that actually their living environment is becoming dangerously cold.
So, at this moment in time then, who's backing it and what stage are you at this moment?
Okay, the product's it's been produced. We have stock in our Daventry warehouse. We've recently formed ourselves as a community interest company, and we have a social mission to deliver these life-preserving products to the most vulnerable in Northamptonshire. Recently, we've teamed up with the Northampton County Council. They have a scheme running at the moment called Wrapped Up Northamptonshire, which is a direct response in conjunction with charities such as Age UK and the Nene Valley Partnership, where they offer first-line defence against the cold for the most vulnerable to take advantage of some of the assistance and grants that's available. We have a product that informs you that there is a problem. So when the temperature gets dangerously low, below 18 degrees, the product will actually inform you in a word. So it tells you it's cool. If it drops below 16 degrees, it tells you it's cold, and it starts flashing blue. So there's a direct correlation for the most vulnerable to actually understand that they might be putting themselves in danger.
So you want businesses to get behind this, don't you?
We do. In actual fact, the problem is it's a global issue. It's a nationwide issue. The first people that actually have to take responsibility for this, and it's something that we promote quite heavily, is that families need to take ownership of this problem, because there are things you can do in your home to actually make the living environment more comfortable. There are energy efficiency measures that you can take to actually make the home more thermally efficient. Everybody's moaning about the price of energy, right? But at the end of the day, there are things you can do to stop the energy going out the window. So first line of defence is, let's get the families engaged. Let's get them asking the question, how's Tom? Is he cold? Is he cool? Is he flashing blue? We've got a problem. The second thing that we want to do is engage businesses and corporate sponsors, because our goal, our mission is to give these away to the most vulnerable people, free of charge. So we can reduce the number of deaths which occur. 31,000 people died last year because of cold-related illnesses, and over 700,000 people have to go to hospital as a result of this. We want to reduce that number, and our mission is to actually give every vulnerable adult in the UK, but starting in Northamptonshire, a free Tom thermometer which will alert them of the problem.
So if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best number to get in touch with you from this one?
Okay, couple of ways of contacting us. Obviously, we have a website. So the website is housetom.co.uk. Our telephone number in Daventry is 01327 301 950.
We've got the numbers here at BBC Radio Northampton, so we can pass those on as well.
Sure. Okay. It's a big scale. We want to get people involved in this problem. Families and businesses. Businesses can sponsor this product, and we can give them away to the most vulnerable.
Simon, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, Rob.
Good luck with it all. I hope it all goes well. That's Simon Parslow from Target Holdings in Daventry.